over the weekend. They beat some people like this. They beat them twice in one night.
Wow.
I've not seen that kind of thing before. But we're talking about those people. And all the transfer that they did in the market. We're talking about those people that they beat twice in one night. Banter we flow today. Also there's a summer series, the Premier League summer series happening in the United States. If you watch the Chelsea Brighton match, that was really interesting to see. Who else played again yesterday? Aston Villa, Newcastle. That was good. Some people played earlier, Brentford, Fulham. So we'll be talking about the summer series and more on this show. But before we do that, Zibby, give us the numbers to call so that the banter will be live.
All right, the number is 0144899981. You can also tweet at smooth981. We're streaming live, so you can catch that live stream on YouTube, Smooth 981 FM Lagos.
All right, and also send us message now.
Of course, 0809 4440981. That is the WhatsApp number.
All right, so those are the media that you could join us through. And I'm waiting for your banter. But before then, Zibby, what are the headlines and what are we taking today on the locker room?
NBBF laments paucity of funds as the Tigers train in Abuja. Max Verstappen wins as Red Bull set record with 12th consecutive victory. Women's World Cup never been tougher, warns Germany coach. French Players Union backs Mbappe amid PSG contract row. Eric Ten Hag's side pounds on individual errors to secure victory over Premier League rivals. Messi scores dramatic late winner on Miami debut. Guardiola says Haaland in much better shape than last season.
Wow. It's finished.
Game over.
It is finished.
Silva commits to Fulham after reported Saudi offer.
Yes, they're going to give him huge money. 40 million. This guy's like, I'm committed to Fulham. I'm like, Oga, there's no loyalty in football.
How old is he?
He's a coach.
Oh, okay.
Just collect your money so that you
wake up.
Because do you understand? Because Fulham can vex and sack you tomorrow. And you now regret all the money that you left on the Saudi table.
Wow.
You want to anyway. We'll talk about Silva. He's his choice. We'll talk about him later. Whether he will take money or he will take Europe. But first, let's start with what's happening in Nigeria. Some people have money to be rejecting, and some people are looking for money to hold camp. But let's talk about them.
The Nigerian Basketball Federation, NBBF, has said that inadequate funding is hampering its program ahead of the 2023 AfroBasket Championship, and that's scheduled to hold in Kigali, Rwanda, from July 28th to August 6th. Now, it said the format of the trials was also quite necessary and unavoidable, as the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports is currently faced with the paucity of funds that has affected all the sports federations, and government is yet to provide the required funds for the 2023 Women's AfroBasket Championship. There are such liabilities as the last Women's AfroBasket Champions played in Cameroon in 2019, among many others, in which the Nigerian women's national team, the Tigress, prepared, participated, and won the trophy. They're undergoing processing and still not refunded to this day.
Okay, so now they have hit the nail on the... Is it the hit hammer on the nail or
nail on the head?
The nail on the head, correct.
I don't know if that even makes sense.
I don't even know if it makes sense, but they've hit something or something. Now you know that they've hit target. Because remember when we were shouting that why are these people holding trials for the national team? They said, oh, you wanted to revamp the team. You want to revamp the team filled with 20-something-year-olds. Not just revamp the team filled with 20-something-year-olds, but revamp the team that won you the AfroBasket Championship. What is happening? Ashe, it turns out, let me speak English now. It turns out that these girls, can you remember when the girls did a video that, they weren't paid and they weren't treated well? That was, I think, 2020 or 2021. So these girls won a championship in 2019. 2021, they cried out. People got upset. Until 2023,
you ain't done nothing.
You haven't still processed this money. Think about it. 2019 to 2023. And now, because you haven't done what you're supposed to do, you decided to do open trials as opposed to calling back the girls. Number one, you stop those girls from going to World Cup. Number two, you're still owing those girls. Number three, they're defending champions of this championship you want to go to. You have offended them. This is insult, injury, and What else is it? What else can you do to somebody? And a curse.
Wow.
You've offended in 3 ways to Sunday. And instead of you to, humble yourself, have a conversation, and see what you can do, you decided to have open trials to take another team that's going to be largely unprepared, because they're training now for a competition that's starting on the 28th. 28th is 4 days from now.
Oh wow, this
So
has to be a joke.
yeah, so they entered camp last week. So the training from last week for a competition that is going to happen 4 days away. And they are defending champions. At least the
Oh
name of the
wow.
Tigress is defending champions. It's still Nigeria that is defending champions, even if the team will change.
This is
This
shocking.
is just this is a complete mess. And I know we say this all the time and we are tired of saying it, but imagine how you release one statement that reveals the can of worms. Since 2019, you are still processing fees. What?
Wow.
2019, this is 2023. And then the people that you're processing fees for, you decided to completely ignore them because they didn't even communicate with them. The girls were the ones reaching out. And they now found out on via social media, that they were going to be replaced because of the open trials.
Tega, please. I mean, when I think it can't get any worse, you just top it with something
That's how they
else.
found out. They found out on social media, like the rest of us.
Wow. Oh, is this why the other lady came out and said, I'm done?
Yeah, this part of the reason. So now people understand. Oh, two of them are now done because Ife Bekwe has joined them. So it's Chidera, sorry, it's Odera and Ife Bekwe now that have decided that they're not featuring for the national team. I don't know why they bought that, because I mean they've done
Yeah.
open trials to replace them, despite the fact that they've treated them this poorly. Wow. I think at this point in time, scrap everybody in the NBBF. All of them. All of them.
Wow.
Let's go to some hopefully good news.
Okay, Max Verstappen's dominant victory at the Hungarian Grand Prix has set a wins record for his team, Red Bull.
All right, so the Hungarian Grand Prix took place this weekend. I don't think you expect anything new. You kind of know that Max Verstappen is good. Sorry, you kind of know that Red Bull is going to win. And ever since Perez came out to say that he's going to challenge Max Verstappen for the title, he struggled in different ways. Sometimes it's his car wasn't put together, sometimes his car is not as fast, or sometimes he's made errors. But ever since he came out to say, I want to compete with Max, it's almost like they're like, no, you can't. We have only one driver. We just want to have two cars on the grid so we'll know what we are doing. But ultimately, that has been a struggle. So you knew that Max Verstappen was going to be at the top of that grid. But Saturday was actually the most brilliant day. So qualifying on Saturday, Lewis Hamilton, for the first time in a long time, I think in 33 races or 35 races, he eventually won pole with one of the most fantastic laps. And he still made a mistake on that lap, but he still managed to get fast enough to set pole. That was his 104th pole for Formula One. And so the grid was set up in a fantastic way. It was Lewis Hamilton in one, Max Verstappen in two, and then Lando Norris in three. So huge one. So a mixed kind of grid. And at some point we did expect that Lewis Hamilton was going to be able to hold his position for Max Verstappen to eventually overtake. But what happened at the start of the race? Because maybe Lewis Hamilton has forgotten how to start the race. He started the race in number one. Now, the way the track was, um, if he was Lewis Hamilton of old, he would have pointed his car onto the inner line, which is where Max Verstappen was. So because he was ahead, he would have owned the corner. He would have covered on that inner line, and he would have been in front. That's how Lewis Hamilton started the race and continued on his trajectory. So Max Verstappen, who had the inner line, took the inner line, and then when Lewis woke up to the inner line, Max Verstappen blocked him off, and then Oscar Piastri passed the inner line and overtook him. So Lewis Hamilton went from being number one on the grid to dropping to fourth on the grid. And so yes, his car is as fast as the McLaren, but is not necessarily fast enough to overtake them, which is why he struggled most of the race. So horrible race for Lewis Hamilton. Could have been better. Could have finished higher up, maybe in second position and gotten 18 points. Unfortunately, he finished fourth and got only 10 points. But for Red Bull, they won their 12th consecutive race, which is now a new record in F1. The previous record was held by McLaren, and it was Ayrton Senna and Alan Prost that set that in, I think, 88. So they broke a new record. Max has won 7 in a row. Congratulations to all of them. Wrap up the season, give him his trophy. Let us all go home. I want to say it's boring, but I enjoy races too much to say that it is boring. But yeah, it was, as usual, a good weekend for Red Bull. Questionable for Mercedes, but an almost perfect weekend for McLaren. They're doing great things.
All right, 0809 4440981. That is the WhatsApp number. You can also tweet at smooth981. Germany's coach Martina Voss Tecklenburg has warned that women's football has never been more competitive as her side chase a third World Cup title.
All right, so Germany is going to face Morocco, and today a lady wearing hijab is going to play.
Yay!
So good power. So good one, really good one. So she's setting a trend. She's going to play for Morocco today. So I can't wait to see her. But I also can't wait to see the Moroccans play beautiful football. Unfortunately, they are falling right into the thick of things to be playing against Germany. That's a tough side to be playing any day of the week. Remember, they were finalists at the Euros just last year. So yes, they've had their own struggles. But they're a little better than their men's side. They've had their own struggles, but they're still the German national team. However, she's making a very great point. The gap between the smaller teams and the bigger teams have closed. Think about it. England struggled to beat Haiti. They scored 1 goal, and if Haiti had any quality, Haiti maybe could have equalized. Just yesterday, Jamaica held France to a goalless draw. Now France, they also one of those teams that you hear they play beautiful football, but they've just never really gone out there and really won it like the US or the Germans. But they're still a solid side, and they're coached by Hervé Renard, the coach that led Argentina to the World Cup and they beat Saudi Arabia to the World Cup and they beat Argentina. Yeah, that coach, remember him. The coach that won the African Cup of Nations here in Africa. So big coach, but he tends to struggle when he goes back home. He struggled when he coached a club side in France, and he seems to be struggling now to get the results. But France played everything. They threw everything, including the kitchen sink. In fact, they threw the kitchen. And the Jamaican girls were like, "You are not scoring today." Oh. Jamaica eventually went 1 man down, and still the French couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. So yes, I like what the gap is closing. Think about it. Before, it would be a rout. France, Germany would be like 5-0. England, Haiti would be like 8-0. But that gap is fast closing. I mean, teams are, women's football is really growing, and so countries are reaping the benefits of that. So yes, she knows that it's going to be a struggle with Morocco, especially with the growth Morocco has had in the past few years in football. So I can't wait to watch that match. That won't be very entertaining to watch. Right now, Italy is playing against Argentina. But yes, women's football, the gap has closed, and if Germany is not careful, Morocco can stun them.
All right, you're listening to The Locker Room on Smooth 98.1. Do stay with us. The show continues.
All right. I wanted us to take a message before the break so that before we come back on answer.
All right.
Sorry, people. I'm sitting down because I'm tired. My age has caught up with me.
Lifestyle goals, or just simply getting service that is designed just for you.
It's still 0-0.
Yeah, we thought you might like.
Oh, it's in Argentina.
Yeah,
it's live.
It's live now.
Wow.
Yeah, I started at 7. My age has caught up with me. Don't mind me. I don't know what happened to me this weekend. From Friday like this, I went to Shopper's house. I got to house. I think she went to drop her nephew somewhere. Her niece somewhere. My darling. I lay down on the floor to pick up my phone to call her that she should buy suya. She's coming.
Or
The last thing I remember is picking up my phone.
You slept.
To switch to a future forward banking
Oh
Like,
my days.
I woke up, they had put a pillow over my head, they put a duvet over my
You
body.
did
I
not
did not
wake
move.
up. Oh my days. Tega. That is something. Oh my goodness.
I slept. No,
Wow.
I crashed. Okay, we'll come back with some of these messages. Their messages.
Sorry? You're inside the locker room on Smooth 98.1. It's Tega and Zibby this Monday morning. Monday.
All right, and you're still in the locker room. We'll get into the banter soon. But before we get there, let's read some of your messages. Let's start with those messages on YouTube. Padre Pio says,
my sympathies with these ladies who will be picked after the open trials. You can already see what your future looks like. You two will win and be dumped.
You know,
they win.
Being the proof that they used to chase away the first wife, they kept it at the top.
Switch.
So Habib wants to know what time the Morocco Germany match is. It's right after this Italy Argentina. Italy's match is on the 73rd minute, so I'm thinking around maybe 11. 10, 11. So it's right after this match. So this match they says has 20 more minutes.
Right.
So set your time.
It's so empowering to see these ladies like on the pitch and owning it.
It's
though.
amazing. It's amazing.
Let's see.
Let's see other messages. Emeka says,
Tega, cool down about the Tigress coach. Let them go and lose and come back. Wow.
They could go there and win. They could go there and win.
After how many days of practice as a team?
They could go there and win. Who says this?
All right, okay. Tega, Odera is a short form of Chidera. Okay, thanks for letting us know.
Oh, okay. I just like to call people's name the way they pronounce it. Yeah. So if they say their name is Odera, it's Odera we're calling them. All right, let's go to some banter and then we'll come back and take some of your messages. Remember, the numbers to send your messages to are
0809 440 981. You can tweet at smooth981 and you can also give us a call 0144899981 and we're streaming live on YouTube.
all right.
France's National Union of Professional Footballers. Okay.
Yeah, France's National
Okay. France's National Union of Professional Footballers has slammed PSG after the Ligue 1 champions excluded Mbappe from their preseason tour to Asia as a contract standoff between the forward and the club rumbles on.
All right, so PSG created a monster and now they've left it loose in the street like the big cat that they said was roaming around Germany. They didn't know if it was a tiger. Yeah. Yes, there was a big cat.
Wow.
Over the weekend. But first, PSG created this monster because every time he threw a tantrum, they were like, oh, my darling, take some more money. And he'll take money and he'll stay. Every time he threw a tantrum, they say, okay, you have to get part ownership of the decision making. Now this monster is saying, I want to take your soul. And PSG has realized that they shouldn't have let a player be bigger than their club. From the minute he said they should have sold him to the highest bidder, put him on, I want to say OLX, but they don't exist anymore. Put him on a mobile app and sell him to put him on eBay, sell him to the highest bidder. Let them know. You make a statement like that. But no, you placated him, you cajoled him, you threw more money at him, and now he's acting like this. Can you imagine a player? Well, I'm not sure that I didn't hear this word specifically from his mouth, but I heard that he had said that he'd rather sit on the bench and let his contract run out than play for PSG. After all the money after all they did for you, they didn't even celebrate World Cup champion because of you, and you are now saying that you are going to sit on the bench. My friend, go. If I were PSG, because I'm petty like that, sell him to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Go there and have fun. Arsenal said they want him. I'll be like, Arsenal, you have 40 million? I'll sell him to you. We have money. We don't need this money. Sell him. That's what they need to do. Because the truth of the matter is, I agree with PSG, with the union. They have a contract. And maybe they are not PSG didn't handle the thing well, by dropping him and taking the rest of the team. They have a contract, so they have to honor that contract with Mbappe. But I also agree with the owners of PSG. This boy cannot be tossing us up and down. Today you say you want fried eggs. I went to fry the egg. You now say you want a bar. What do you want in this life? Just Sell him and have your peace of mind. Even PSG has need mental health um care too. So please, everybody, at the end of the day, I think the best form of action for Mbappe and PSG is to part ways. So PSG, sell him.
So this is an X that there is no coming back.
There's no coming back on. Wait, let me not say there's no coming back. That's how I said it the last time, and they came back. Let me not talk too much. Let me not speak on their behalf.
All right. Manchester United secured some early bragging rights over Premier League rivals Arsenal as Eric Ten Hag's side secured a 2-0 preseason win over the Gunners in New Jersey.
All right. So I saw some people talking about preseason is not a measure to know what start is what, but if they won, you would have heard the bragging. Your team bought timber and rice, and you expect not to be cooked. If you are the one that they gave firewood and rice, won't you cook something? That's how these people brought out starting lineup. When I saw the starting lineup, I was like, this is supposed to be a friendly. But because it was Arsenal versus Manchester United, I understood. Manchester United tried a few, academy players here and there, names you didn't even recognize. And Manchester United, hold up, beat Arsenal 2-0 in regulation time. But because it was American, like every American thing, they do extra. They said regardless of the scoreline, there was going to be a penalty shootout. Yeah, it's America. That's why people watch Hollywood. Regardless of the scoreline, there's going to be penalty shootout. So Arsenal lost to Manchester United in regulation time, 2-0. Penalty shootout, they lost 5-3. They beat them twice in one night. The first one, they beat them to show that they could beat them. The second one, they beat them for good measure, so that there'll be no comeback from this. But there are a few questions asked there. So I watched football all of last season. I don't know how many people watched football all of last season. I'm still waiting for the answer of what Mikel Arteta saw that he decided Kai Havertz is the guy he should buy. Number one. Number two, that Kai Havertz is the guy that he should buy for 65 million. Those are the only two questions that kept running through my mind throughout that match. So Arsenal fans, Manchester United fans, call me, tell me, what do you think of your team? For Manchester United, Eric Ten Hag says we don't play friendlies, and they truly weren't friendly. They beat somebody twice on the night. But so for Arsenal fans, you saw your new look team with Kai Havertz in midfield, Declan Rice in midfield, and Odegaard in midfield. Do you think that team is strong enough to contend for the Premiership title? The numbers to call are
0144899181.
All right, so let's take one message from YouTube before we get to those phone calls. This name is Okwegbe Emmanuel says, the fact that Chelsea got that amount from Arsenal for Havertz is still shocking. Nice doing business with them. Arsenal should know that we don't do return policy.
Oh, wow.
I agree. Nobody should return that money. Let's see what Tayo is saying. Tayo says, okay, before Tayo says anything, let's take these phone calls. Hello, good morning. Yeah, your name and your location, please. All right, go ahead. What do you think about the teams, Arsenal or Man U, whichever one you want to speak on?
I'm a Chelsea fan. I was very, very happy Arsenal got for that color. It's good business. Real.
All right. He said it's good business. They've scammed Arsenal. They've run Arsenal cash up. All right. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and your location, please.
Yeah,
All right. What do you think about the Arsenal Manchester United situation?
I do think Arsenal made a very big mistake in getting Kai Havertz in the first. I think it's a very big mistake because I can't really figure out what his position is.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, I don't think for the past few seasons he has been at Chelsea. His numbers are not that great. His assists, his goals. Luckily for him, he had to be in a situation where he scored the only goal that Chelsea won the championship. But the guy is not that good.
Mm-hmm.
And for Arsenal, copying out 65, I don't think Arsenal need him in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But bringing out 65 million pounds to get him is quite ridiculous. And I think it's a very poor policy person.
All right. So do you think Arsenal is ready to challenge for the title with that team? Easy, yes or no? Hey, long talk. All right. Thank you. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Your name and your location, please. All right, tell us, what do you think about the Arsenal Manchester United match?
Good show for Manchester United, but I'm not overexcited because there were gaps at the back. I mean, it was like a match against Chelsea last season. If you had better finishers, it might have been a draw or they might have won. So there's still work to be done. As for Kai Havertz, big ups to him and his juju man, whatever he's using. And for Mbappe, I think you're right, Tega. He called it. And you know, Vanelka, any other clubs that buy him is going to have the same problem. It's going to be a problem wherever he goes because he's too egoistic. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ibuku. Thank you for the calls. Let's take some messages because we are fast running out of time. Emma from Lagos says,
Mbappe should sit on the bench. Now the Euros are approaching. Abi, he will need to be informed if he can be selected. PSG should ship him off to Saudi Arabia if he doesn't want to go. Nah. He's such a greedy, selfish person. It's preseason, just a few tweaks, and we'll be fine. But Arteta needs to get a striker.
all right. Mohammed has come with this long message about the Ministry of Sports took the right decision to stop the Tigers from going to the World Cup because they would have disgraced Nigeria. No, I think the Ministry of Sports already embarrassed themselves by owing people from 2019 to 2023. I'm sorry. You can't disgrace who can't be disgraced. Cossy Call says Chelsea really did a number on Arsenal and Manchester. A whooping 130 million on both. People were criticizing Chelsea for selling the best players, but see them getting their acts together. I see some people are cashing out from this somebody's disadvantage. All right, let's take one more story before we run out of time.
Okay. Lionel Messi made a Hollywood start to his American adventure, scoring a last-second winner with a curling free kick in his debut game for Inter Miami on Friday.
Yeah, Inter Miami desperately needed that win. They had the bottom of the table, rock bottom.
Wow.
And they were actually one up when Messi comes onto the pitch, but it was everything that Messi is going to bring to American football. You know, the celebrities were out there, taking a picture, making out like they knew him. I think LeBron was one that LeBron said he told Kim Kardashian once they got the free kick that ball was entering the back of the net, and Kim Kardashian was like, nah, and then the ball entered the back of the net. So you can imagine what the bet houses are making. But yeah, it was a huge deal. Already matches are sold out for Inter Miami, so on that end they're making revenue. A lot of people have started to watch at least some of the games, so the MLS is benefiting from that. But it'll be important for Inter Miami, after getting Busquets, Alba, Lionel Messi, to leave that bottom of the table, because it doesn't make any sense to have all these superstars and be hugging the bottom of the table. There's no relegation in US, but you want to go for the playoffs when you have the likes of Messi and Busquets. All right. Also over the weekend, Manchester City went to Japan and they played a match where they won 5-2, I think, and then Erling Haaland scored 2 of those goals. So Pep Guardiola has warned us that Erling Haaland is in a better shape than he was last year. So remember, last season he scored 52 goals in all competitions. What is he about to do? On that note, we round up with this message from Tayo. He says,
this Messi effect is very impressive, with some of his Barca alumni preparing to join him at Inter Miami. I just want Kim and Drake to stay away from Olua Messi and not end his career. Overall, I see MLS as an interesting league for him and not competitive. He just needs to do the minimum and he's okay. Tega, you have to be watching these matches overnight. The Lord is your strength. Delilah, cut Haaland's hair right now.
Cut it now. All right. On that note, we wrap up the locker room. Thank you, Zibby, for having us. Thank you, everybody that sent in their messages on YouTube, via WhatsApp, and all those that made phone calls. Thank you so much for being part of the locker room.